Good morning. John Adamson, the Rehab and Documentation Guru, sitting prior to going to get or see my first patient, doing a co-visit, which I rarely ever do, a co-visit with one of my PT assistants with a pretty challenging patient in terms of, are we doing anything valuable for this lady? And we are, but we got to work out some details today with treatment. My excellent assistant. I have excellent assistants. And you know what? I value them, and I think they see that, and therefore they rise to the occasion. So I appreciate them. But anyway, that's not what I'm talking about right now. I'm talking about a post I just saw on the geriatric PTOT and speech therapy Facebook group. And the question was, do you do skilled / maintenance, functional maintenance programs in your building? And I wanted to talk about that because I think that this particular therapist may be joining together terminology that should be separate, because we want to distinguish between skilled maintenance and functional maintenance programs in a skilled nursing facility. So an FMP, functional maintenance program, is considered a non-skilled service. It's something that can be generated by nursing, not by therapy. For example, a patient comes in, they're a little bit weak, they're not getting around very much. Nursing can set up a program designed to improve that patient's participation and function to try to gain greater strength, greater mobility, etc. Now, therapists can set up functional maintenance programs, and that's really what we should be doing. If you work in a SNF and you're discharging a long-term care patient, they all should have some kind of FMP. If they're living in a nursing home, they're going to need assistance with something. Most of them obviously need cognitive assistance, and it's not appropriate to think that a patient with a cognitive decline, even early stage dementia, is going to appropriately follow through with a maintenance program to keep them where they're at when you discharge them. So they should have a nursing or activities department mediated program to keep them where they're at, because that's their right to be at their highest level of function. And that's based on the OBRA law, which came into effect in 1987. But let's talk about skilled maintenance. And I've done videos on this in the past, but what differentiates a skilled maintenance program is safety and effectiveness. So you could set up a functional maintenance program on a patient to keep them where they're at, but if it takes skill to do that program, because primarily, and this is one of the big things, variability of the patient each session. The patient has a lot of variability. We would call that an unstable clinical presentation. They need a therapist probably doing the maintenance program, because what happens with patients that are unstable, they have a clinical presentation that's variable, is the CNA, the restorative aid, whatever you have in your building, goes to see them on one given day, and they're significantly different than when you train them to do the functional maintenance program. And because they're significantly different and the CNA does not have the tools to adjust that program, they've got to follow the program, they can't get it done. If they can't get it done, let's say a couple days in a row, and the patient starts to decline, their clinical presentation changes further, and then they can't get it done. And what happens with most FMPs carried on by CNAs in this case is they'll just fall away and they'll stop doing them. And let's face it, they fall away anyway, because nursing goes ahead and discharges FMPs when they shouldn't be, because they just assume, okay, the patient's been at this level for a while, we can just take them off FMP, and then the patient has a decline and they end up back on therapy. Sorry for my slurp. So anyway, you may have patients in your skilled nursing facility that need you to be the one maintaining them. Another possibility is you do kind of a combined therapy and nursing program where you do periodic reassessments, and this is appropriate. This is actually discussed in Medicare's guidelines, that therapy may need to do periodic adjustments and modifications to their program because of variability of the patient. So you turn the patient over to, let's say, nursing for an FMP, and you have a frequency where you're seeing them every other week to adjust, modify, adapt, retrain based on changes that are going on with the patient. But again, it's going to be predicated on the patient's variability, their unstable clinical presentation. So keep that in mind as you work with your patients. Do they need a functional maintenance program, but they're clinically stable, and with a non-skilled person just doing things like walking them and having them get up and down a few times from a chair and doing some overhead reaches and practicing saying certain things and doing some chin tucks while they swallow, whatever it might be for the FMP. Ask yourself, is it safe for the nurse to do that or nursing aide to do that? And if it is, you don't have a skilled maintenance program. You just have a functional maintenance program. But if you need to be there every visit, or most every visit, you have a skilled therapy maintenance program. And that's a big difference. Anyway, check out my other videos about maintenance therapy. You'll find them helpful. If you want a lot more detail on maintenance therapy, I have a course with Allied Health Education. It is recorded. It's available through Allied Health Education. And check that out, because I think you'll find it helpful to justifying maintenance therapy. Anyway, going off to see a patient. Take care, and God bless.